And we're up and at it again. Probably 6:45, just leaving Welly. Not a bad morning, but the wind is going to come up a little bit later on. I think only about 3 hours to Tailem Bend. It's actually a little bit of a northerly at the moment, and it's supposed to be changed into a southwesterly, so we should get a pretty good trip. Just going past the first entrance or exit into Wellington East. Got another one up about, I suppose, 3/4 of a kilometre. And we just have the sun starting to poke through the clouds on this beautiful morning so far. It's supposed to be a bit wet later on, but at the moment it's bloody beautiful. Plenty of pelicans out having breakfast, a few black swans. Magnificent. And this is Placid Estates, about 6 or 7 kilometres downstream from Tailem Bend. Mainly a bit of a shacky area with a few permanents as well, but yeah, nice little spot. Getting a little bit of sun now, beautiful. And how good is it to be going with the wind behind me? You know how I love a good windmill. Beautiful. And just over there's a mate of mine's house, Linton, who's a builder and obviously built that himself. He's got an in-ground pool inside the house on the left-hand end. And back behind it he's got a place called Murray View Park where he's built cabins. I'm not too sure how many, but there's probably at least 6 or so, maybe more, and also places for caravans to park. So if you're ever passing through Tailem Bend, you're looking for somewhere to stay, check out Murray View Park, and you can even get access down to the river there. Another windmill. And there we have the famous Fred's Landing. That's where Gilligan has spent most of its time. It's where I first put it in and been testing it from. Great little spot there. About 2 kilometres downstream from Tailem Bend. Good place to go water skiing or fishing from. A little bit rocky there, but there's spots up by the reeds. It's got a toilet there. But you're not allowed to camp there, except for boats. Nothing stopping boats from pulling up at the jetty for a few nights. Windmill alert. You can see it just at the top there, above the willows. As we come around the corner into Tailem Bend, we get a bit of protection from that wind. Yeah, I know I'm on the wrong side of the river, but I haven't seen a boat for a week, so I think we're pretty safe. And it just cuts out that little bit of breeze. And we're not going to quite make it without getting a bit of rain. Just getting a few spits now. And a bit of wind. So I've got probably another 15 minutes to get to where I want to pull up. So we'll get through this bit of rain and then we're there. So now we've reached Tailem Bend, my hometown. We better give you a bit of a tour. I don't know if you've watched a few of my other videos. We've been up and down here a few times for their test runs. A couple of times I've filmed my place, the lighting hadn't been too good, so that's my place with the bamboos and the houses. Not that one on the left, but the one, that's my old shed there, which we're about to do up. The house is back to the right. And just about to put a retaining wall in and put a new jetty in. This group along here are all shackies. Some from down the southeast, get a lot of people from down the southeast come up here so they can go water skiing. I think the next one's a guy from Adelaide. And the flash one that you'll see in a minute used to be Jeff Motley's, which was a fairly famous Aussie rules footballer. It all got knocked down and rebuilt in the last 4 or 5 years, and it's actually owned by the people that have got a turf farm at Langhorns Creek. So not that one, the one just coming up to the left. My mate Bill owns that one, he lives in it. Ex-farmer. And there we have the Tailem Bend Medical Centre and the hospital. So I'm doing a bit of wobbling here, trying to steer the thing a bit. As you probably know, if you've driven a houseboat before, there's a fair chance while you're concentrating on other stuff, you're doing a big zigzag down the middle of the river. They tend to overcorrect a bit if you're not concentrating. So there we have the big water tower. I believe it's still used as an emergency water supply. There is a big pumping station back at the start when we first came into Tailem Bend, just past Fred's Landing. So yeah, we are heading upstream at the moment, and there we have the Riverside Hotel. That's got room down the bottom to park your houseboats. On the left of that willow, I think, and ordinary boats to the right. But plenty of room down there. Great hotel if you want to stop and have a meal, or even stay. With Tailem Bend being my hometown, we're going to do a bit of an extended tour of Tailem Bend. Show you around this great little town right on the River Murray. Not really known as a river town. Back in the day it was, I think there was a few barges that used to take wool across to Jervois, which is back behind me there. But probably more known as a railway town. A lot of railway houses here. Used to be a lot of people working here in the railways, with the main line going through to Melbourne, and also used to have a line veering up to Loxton in the Riverland, going through Karoonda and Wanby, and another line out to Pinaroo and Lameroo. But sadly those two are closed down now. So probably main thing is the farming community, the grain silos, which we'll check out soon. It's probably the biggest grain silos southeast of Adelaide. They have a lot of piggeries in this area. Used to be a lot of dairy farmers across at Jervois, but sadly a lot of those have closed up now. There's chicken farms, and yeah, lots of farming or agricultural businesses around here. So let's go take a bit of a tour. Even this little park down here is a bit hidden away. You've actually got to come down the road to the ferry, and then you do a sharp left at the bottom and you get this great little park. Got some toilets here, parking area, and down there under that shelter there's free barbecues, houseboat moorings the other side, and we've got this great new jetty that's probably only been up for a year. So that's so some of the bigger paddle boats like the Captain Proud from Murray Bridge can pull up to. And this great little spot for fishing and swimming during the summer, and another new jetty down there. That one's probably been up for about 3 years. Beautiful part of the world, and as you can see the willows are losing their leaves at the moment, so about the middle of winter. And here we have the original ferry. I'll get in a bit closer here so you can pause this if you're interested. Hope I get it close enough. Bit of a shame, starting to fall down a little bit, especially the bit in the water. And now we've got this section down here, nice shelter there, a couple of barbecues that are free, and they've just recently pulled down some willows here, and this is sort of your houseboat mooring area. So this is the track or the road leading down to the ferry, and got the ferry crossing the river at the moment and looking out across Jervois. Now I've got a great photo from about this spot from 1956, so before I was born, but with my sister and my mum standing here during the 1956 flood. So I'll put that up on the screen now so you can check that out. So just putting the drone up now. Down the bottom right you can see the old turntable. They used to turn the trains around. Got a lot of old carriages there. Bit of a graveyard of old carriages at the moment. In the background is the Viterra grain silos. And there's a train going through at the moment getting loaded up. And that's looking upstream up the river towards Murray Bridge, about 20 kilometres away, and then further back 100 kilometres is Adelaide. And looking across at Jervois, used to be a lot of old dairies there, but sadly most of them are closed up now, and I think they just run mainly beef cattle. And Jervois probably Tailem Bend's main rivalry in football and cricket. As with all country towns, they've got a lot of sporting clubs, keeps the town running. Tailem Bend's got a big football club and netball set up. There's also cricket, lawn bowls, a good golf course, the rowing club. You can just see the footy oval coming in the background at the moment. And also the new motorsports park, and we'll go for a bit of a cruise out to the motorsports park in a minute and check it out. And there's another look at the football and netball club. And a couple of kilometres just the Adelaide side of Tailem Bend we have Tailem Town, or a lot of people call it Old Tailem Town. A great little pioneer village that probably not a lot of people know much about, so if you're ever nearby, check it out. Great place for a visit. Probably the biggest thing Tailem Bend's known for at the moment is the Bend Motorsports Park, which has only been here for about 5 years, I'm guessing. It's on 750 hectares and a cost of $150 million. It's got a motel, restaurant, and it was built by the Shaheen family, who own the On The Run service stations in South Australia, which they've got about 145 of, and they're more like a mini supermarket. But yeah, I think there's some cars here racing around today, so we'll go and see if we can get a spot and film some. So we've got a few cars going around at the moment. Looks like a bit of a practice day. In the background there's a go-kart track, and they also use that as a drift track. They also have four-wheel driving out the back, and they're currently building a drag racing track. Thanks for watching, guys. Next episode, things get serious. I quit my job and start living on Gilligan full time, and we leave my hometown of Tailem Bend, and we're heading to Bell's Landing at Monteith for the first leg. So I hope you guys can join me on the journey.